Guys, welcome back to our channel, and today we're reviewing a new fragrance by the House of Calvin Klein. It's a more deeper, sensual version of the original Euphoria, Deep Euphoria. And we're getting into this fragrance, okay guys? Mwah. So the box is just as before. It's like the original Euphoria. It has like this red lens flare going through it. It's like in this deep burgundy kind of a black, very lacquered. It's just very nice, very sleek. Again with the red lens flare, and it just says Deep Euphoria. Nothing really around the sides, but yeah, it's very simple, very sleek. I like it. It also comes with this really sleek sleeve that comes around the box, and it's just kind of like the bottle and Deep Euphoria and whatnot. It just goes through it like that. I'm not too sure how many people know this about the Euphoria bottles, but they're actually inspired by orchids. Calvin Klein kind of had like this inspiration of an orchid flower, and yeah, you can kind of see it throughout the bottle. And this time the bottle's kind of like this deep wine burgundy red right here in coloring, and it just kind of has like a matte black spine going through it right here. And yeah, the bottle's so like deep in color, it's practically black sometimes, depending on where you show it. But yeah, it's just a very pretty bottle, and I really enjoy it. Alright guys, so this perfume contains notes of aquatic notes of cascalone, white pepper, mandarin leaves, black magic rose, peony, musk, and patchouli. Alright guys, and as usual I have three of the strongest notes of in here. I have the white pepper, I have the black magic rose, and then I have the cascalone aquatic note. So we're getting into the weakest of the three, okay? Alright guys, to start off, the weakest of the three is the white pepper, and yeah, this just kind of lends like a very spicy aquatic note to the fragrance. Very reminiscent of Calvin Klein within the late 90s, early 2000s, like with perfumes like Truth, CK1, and Escape. It just kind of has like that very Calvin Klein signature to it, and yeah, it kind of has like this very lacing of spicy aquatic notes throughout it, and white pepper just kind of lends it. It's a little bit cleaner because it is white pepper, it's not green pepper, it's not black pepper, which I have the other two right here as well, but white pepper is just a more cleaner, a little bit sense of a fresher pepper than the other two, and yeah, it just lends that very like spicy yet again aquaticness to the fragrance. Alright guys, the next note I'm going to be speaking about is the cascalone. I've spoken about this fragrance before in other reviews, and yeah, it's no surprise they would use this considering the perfumers are Henri Blanc and Anne Gottlieb, and they are perfumers of Firmenich. And Firmenich created this synthetic note about a while ago, and yeah, it just kind of lends like this very aquatic kind of a note, very cold, very fresh, very sea-like in so many ways. But I find something particularly odd with using this note, mainly because it's usually used in men's fragrances, and I find that really refreshing for them to use that. And yeah, it just kind of gives like this very aquatic kind of note to the perfume in general. Think of like going to the beach while it's raining. It just gives like that very feel to it, very cold. It gives a lot of dimension to the fragrance, which I really enjoy. And yeah, it's very pretty. I love it. Alright guys, lastly we have the rose, and the rose note isn't really the strongest of the three, it just happens to be the most detectable of the three. And yeah, in this little flower, it goes by the name of Black Magic Rose. And this is a hybrid tea rose created in 1997 by Rosenthal in Germany, and yeah, it's marketed as one of the deepest, darkest roses on the market. But one of the things that I find particularly odd is this rose, considerably noted, if you guys research it, it has little to no scent. So I find it kind of odd that they use this rose, but what they did come up with, it does give like a very plumish, very kind of sweet, somewhat lacy kind of a rose fragrance. And yeah, it has like a somewhat of an older rose fragrance as well. And it just kind of gives like this very like, I don't know, deeper sense to the rose. It is a darker rose in particular, but yeah, it just gives like a very deeper dimension within the perfume itself. In terms of sillage, it's very light, it doesn't project that far. Oh my god, do you guys notice that? That's one thing I really love about this perfume. Look at the sprayer, like how fine that spray is right there, right? Like, if you're gonna make a perfume, make it like this. Like, I love a good mist. But yeah, the perfume is very light in sillage. It doesn't really project that far, it's very close to the skin. And the same goes for longevity. The most it'll last you is 5 hours. It's light in wear, but it does have an intense kind of smell at the beginning. But yeah, that's not particularly bad. Just carry it around with you and yeah, reapply it. And yeah, simple as that. Time I would wear this fragrance, particularly summer nights. It just has like a very like dark element, but it's somewhat fruity and fresh at the same time and floral, so summer nights would be good. Occasion I would wear it, probably dinner when you're sitting across from someone, being more intimate, but you don't really want to offend the person across from you, so a dinner time kind of scent is really nice for this. Whether it's more masculine or feminine, I would say in terms of gender, it is a little bit more feminine, but it does have a kind of unisex lean to it, so just keep aware of that. Only because of like these masculine notes of the white pepper and the cascalone, it just kind of gives it a little bit of a masculine edge, but that's not all that bad. The ad is fronted by actress Margot Robbie. You guys might recognize her from Wolf on Wall Street, Tarzan, and most recently the badass role of Harley Quinn within Suicide Squad. And yeah, it just kind of it shows her within a room. She's sleeping and whatnot. It somewhat kind of signifies a wet dream. I know that's very like weird, but it kind of does. She kind of goes to sleep. Maria Hill's music is playing in the background. And yeah, it's just her walking through the rooms, and as she's walking through the rooms between her dreams, she's passing and passing. She's going deeper in her own euphoria, and she ends up in this room with like some men, and it just kind of gets very sensual and whatnot. And she wakes up abruptly, and yeah, it just kind of like it's somewhat of a wet dream. And I think that's very Calvin Klein. That's very clever. That's reminiscent of them within the late '90s, early 2000s again. And yeah, it's very Calvin Klein of them to do, and I really enjoy the ad. And I really like Margot Robbie as an actress. I think she's very pretty. I think she's very talented as well. I loved her as Harley Quinn within Suicide Squad, and I'm glad she's fronting this fragrance. I feel like she would smell like this, honestly. In terms of first impressions and similarities, it kind of has like this very Earl Grey tea infused with rose water kind of a smell. I don't know how to particularly describe that, but if you guys ever just kind of fuse the two, it has that very smell of rosiness and like that's the peppery note of Earl Grey and that aquaticness of it. In terms of what it smells like, it doesn't really smell like anything in particular that I've smelled before. It just has it's a very Calvin Klein fragrance. It has like a very Calvin Klein signature within the perfume. And yeah, it just smells like that. It's just like a CK kind of a perfume. Alright guys, if you guys are looking for a deep, sensual, slightly erotic scent, then get into Deep Euphoria. Alright guys, I'm Andrew. Stay fresh, stay clean, smell good.